What's up, guys? This is QC Javi, and I'm a content creator and also a PVA member from North Carolina. This is Villa's Podcast. Let's go!
Lo grito por donde quiera, mexicano 100%, no existe ni una barrera. Mucho menos nos separa una frontera. Con papel o sin papeles, yo vivo a mi manera. No me importa en cualquier país. Si el cielo se pone negro, gris. Escuchando a Gerardo Ortiz, celebrando fiestas patrias con 2 Génesis. Cantamos mariachi y en acapela. Miramos a diario con los jefes la pinche novela.
Hola amigos de Pancho, Villa's Army, aquí su Zargento, back with another episode of Villa's Podcast.
And I'm G. How is everybody? How are you, my friend? Oh, this is like so me, right? Like,
that's
do
your
this.
That's your tag. That's just G right there.
Right?
If you were a wrestler, you'll be coming in and be like, en el cuadrilátero, G, and you'll be all.
Oh my gosh.
My mustache has been, I need to get more wax, but I would be doing this as I come on stage.
Yes, exactly. That's yours.
But it's long enough, está todavía, but I just need to put the wax.
Yeah, but you need to do like the little curly thing. Yeah. El churrito.
Yeah. But G, glad to have you back. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm back. You missed me.
Nothing wrong with the Coronel. He's all right. He's okay. But you, I mean, come on. You're the varsity. He's the JV. You're the Major League Baseball. He's a minor league baseball. I mean, don't tell him I said that. But...
Stop it, Coronel. We love you.
Well, let's relate it to soccer. He's you're MLS, and he's USL, right? I mean,
what? What?
Okay, you're Liga MX, and he's
Thank you.
I know. I poked the bear a little bit there.
A little bit.
G, how you've been? We missed you in Pasadena, in California. We tried a little bit, try to get you over here.
I was like this close. I'm not going to lie, but I mean, if you know, if I lived still in Mexico City, it would have been easier. But unfortunately, I'm not there anymore. So traveling is tricky because I have to fly from here to Mexico City and Mexico City to LA. So it's very expensive and it's a lot of it's hard, but I'm going to try. I promise you that I'm going to try to be there at one game at some point.
Yeah. No, more than one game, several.
I need to be there. Like I need to be like getting my footage and my pictures and everything of my own. Like I have to do that. I have to be there.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie, you were missed. I was there trying. We were still in contact. By the way, amazing job in your post and keeping everybody in the know. I think you did a good job. We did a good job partnering and creating. What is it like being a PVA member in these games? And,
yes. The PVA experience, right?
And we got a lot of folks, really getting that experience and, your reels and everything. Again, thank you. And members, let us know if you like them. Please comment. Let us know what your thoughts are. Give some G some love in what she does. She does a lot for us. All right, G. Enough of us. Let's talk about our guest. So our guest, again, he comes from all the way from North Carolina, and I had the pleasure of finally meeting him in person. Not only that, I've been trying to get him on the pod several times. Not gonna lie, he was kind of disappeared a little bit. I'm like, Javi, where are you? Hello, Javi, where'd you go? And he's gone. I'm like, dude. Then all of a sudden I meet him in person, and I finally just said, hey, dude, you're coming on. That's it. It's happening. And he's here. We finally got him. He's a busy guy. Finally. So you know him from all his videos, super content creator. He covers not only La Liga Mexico and PVA, but he also covers a lot of stuff around the Charlotte MLS team as well. But not only that, he also covers a lot around food. This is how I got hooked with him, man. Oh my gosh. The guy makes eating food super delicious. That sounded kind of weird. He makes food.
He makes
like
eating
hot.
Food like hot, like sexy.
Very delicious. That's how I first got exposure to him. I started seeing him at the games, and then finally I met him. So let's give a warm Villa's Podcast welcome to QC Javi. Welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Oh my
Hi,
God.
Javi.
How are you?
Hey. Listen, if I get too loud, just tell me to calm down a little bit, okay? But I'm excited to be here finally. Listen, I put some decoration up.
I saw that.
Representing for the crown,
I see that, man. I see that. I imagine you were super pumped when they finally, announced that they had a team. I see you partnering a lot with Chico, our captain out there. He's super active. But all right, Javi, let's get right to you first, man. If people
Let's
that
go.
don't know you, tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
So I was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco. I came to the U.S. when I was 10 and have been here since. But, soccer's been in my blood. Big Chivas fan.
Oh
And,
my God.
Yeah.
I love you even more, Javi.
Listen, I almost wore my Chivas jersey because I was like, I don't know if the Mexico one is proper enough for this.
Me too.
But yeah.
And I was like, no, but this is like, we're almost on the World Cup, blah, blah, blah. I should wear like something like very, but yes. Okay, so let's pretend everybody's wearing Chivas here.
And pretend.
Okay.
Gee, look at that. Like magic. Javi,
Oh my God, look at this.
where's yours, bro?
Unfortunately, I couldn't make magic. I couldn't. I tried.
Oh, dude, how disappointing, man. The power of television fails us again. All right,
I know. I wasn't prepared for that.
so let's go back. You're from Guadalajara. You're a Chivas fan. You came to the U.S. when you were 10.
Mm-hmm.
And did you initially move to North Carolina, or what was your first stopping ground?
Yeah, so my mom has cousins and uncles that live in Asheville, North Carolina, and that's kind of how we found our path here. Asheville's about 2 to 3 hours from Charlotte, and then a year later, we wanted more of the city life. Obviously, coming from Guadalajara, we were used to a bigger city, so we came to Charlotte and been here since then.
Wow, that's awesome. So what was the biggest thing that you missed from being 10? I mean, you definitely remember a lot.
Yeah.
You remember. I mean, that's like the best years to be a kid in Mexico and Guadalajara. You probably did a lot, going out, fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
All
So
this.
one thing that I've always said is that whenever we moved here, I miss going to La Tiendita in the corner, going and playing maquinitas, because I was a huge fan of playing maquinitas and video games and stuff like that. Because during that time, we couldn't afford like a PlayStation or anything. So I would always go to La Tiendita and play Street Fighter, King of Fighters, and all those games, So that was my vicio at that time. So that's what I missed the most. Just having that accessible walking distance. It's not the same here because in the US, you just got to drive everywhere.
Yeah, gotta drive everywhere. Gee, is that kind of your memory too, growing up in Mexico? I don't know if you were into the videojuegos or the arcades.
Not really, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Not really, but I do get that. Like my cousins and my brothers, they were like, okay, we are back from school. We'll just like eat really fast and go to La Tiendita and get some papitas and go to las maquinitas. Like, yes, of course I can relate. Of course I can
Oh my
relate.
gosh. So what I miss is always, I mean, when you're in Mexico, when you get a soda in a bag of
In a plastic bag. And the
Yeah.
straw. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, those are
Huge fan of that. Good times.
good time. And
Yeah.
speaking of a foodie, so you've been here since you were 10, and what you've been here now, 5 years? You're 15 now. How old are you?
I wish. No, I'm actually 33. So I've been here for a little bit now. Pretty much grew up in Charlotte. That's why I've adopted it. Not necessarily as my birthplace, but it's definitely my city. I've grown with it. Charlotte has changed even in the last 5 years, Charlotte has grown so much that I've adopted it for myself. And now, I represent it everywhere I go. And that's why it's part of my name also. QC stands for Queen City, which that's what Charlotte is. It's funny because I was talking to some friends yesterday, and here in Charlotte, everybody understands that QC stands for Queen City. But when I went to LA, like last week, I had a situation with Javi, the PVA Los Angeles captain, where his neighbor asked what QC stood for. And Chico was there at that time. And Chico's trying to do his best to explain, like, he's QC, like, you should know him because he does blogs and photos and all these things. And she still didn't understand. So she's like, what's QC stand for? Like, is it quality control? And then it was so late. And it clicked right there that I was like, oh, wow, people from LA or from from this side of the country have no idea what's QC's for because they don't hear Charlotte as it is.
Yeah.
Not even QC is going to represent anything to them. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I'm traveling a lot more over there, you know, just to bring some light to my city over here.
A little education.
To educate people, yes.
For sure. But I've adopted quality control too. I'm okay with that one.
I'm okay with that one too. I take pride in my work.
Yep.
I think right behind you, you have a sign that says 300 days without an incident, right? And it's every day.
Every time. The incidents are me missing flights because I'm really good at that too.
Especially if you're hanging around the Javi in LA. That guy can party, man. And we got to talk about that in a second.
Oh, God. Oh, so, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, you know, I was going to ask that question, what QC standing for. So that really, answered that question.
For you, it's quality control. Over
me?
Here, it's Queen City.
Okay, got you. For the non-North Carolinians, I got you. So let's just dive into more about North Carolina because I've been there once already. I've been to Charlotte, love it, an awesome city. It's there's a lot to do there. Great food. Then I also been to Raleigh. Raleigh is pretty cool too. Nice, small. It's still a bit smaller than Charlotte, right? But cool town. If somebody were to travel there, what's your recommendation to like must do's, must goes? Like, what would you recommend people to go that's not non-touristy? Like they're gonna get a cool experience.
So it's funny because we have professional sports teams for every sport, right? Football, baseball, hockey, and all that stuff. So I'm very passionate about sports overall, and our stadiums are pretty cool and equipped. So I always say going to sporting events is like a given. You're gonna have fun regardless. There's a lot of museums here in Uptown that you can check some like really, really nice art. We have some great murals. So recently we've had like a boom of local artists that just paint all over the city. There's a lot of Latinos, Colombian. There's an Ecuadorian artist that's pretty well known. His name's Nico. And you can find their art all over the city. So it represents the Latino culture very well, but also the African-American culture. There was a mural that was painted on one of the main streets here. Obviously, when the riots and all that stuff was happening a few years back, it became very emblematic. We have an outdoor park called the Whitewater Center where people can go kayaking, they can go mountain biking, and it's all within like 10 minutes from the city. So it's super, super close. In North Carolina, we're blessed to have mountains on one side, the Piedmont, which is like the flatland, and then we have the coast, and it's all within 6 hours. So if you're feeling like you want some mountains, you travel 2 hours out. If you want beach and ocean, you travel 3 to 4 hours, and boom, you're on the coast. So it's really cool living in Charlotte. Like, it has a lot of benefits. It doesn't get too cold, so you can come here year round.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I need to go to Quality Control. I mean, Queen City.
Yeah.
I need to go.
So Javi, you're definitely you are an amazing advocate for your city. I love that, after being there since you were 10, you've embraced that city. You're a big promoter of the city. That's really what your videos, your blogs is all about, is really capturing that from the food to the sports, right? But also more importantly, just the city in general. I mean, the fact about the murals. I mean, I think that's so cool, right? To highlight those artists.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love it.
Let's talk about your passion for you said sports earlier. Let's talk about your passion for La Selección, then let's transition there. And even, of course, Charlotte once it became a team. But how did you get into soccer? Like, how did your passion start there? And of course, I think I know where, but
exactly. And obviously it had to start there. From a young age, even before 10, obviously before moving here, my mom and my parents would always take us to Estadio Jalisco to watch Guadalajara play, way before the OmniLife and the new stadium and all that stuff. So I remember when I was a kid, I was probably about 6, and I was at an uncle's house in Mexico, or Guadalajara. Chivas won a championship, and everybody went to La Minerva and just drove around. There were flags everywhere. So those are like my childhood memories that are so bright still in my brain. And from that point, you know, that was just, I felt like that was part of my identity of who I am. Coming to the United States, I couldn't find another connection other than the sport to be able to connect to my roots. Not to talk too crazy, but I didn't feel that connection, or that my mom was trying to teach me that when we got here, because she had to work, she had to spend her time, you know, finding ways of feeding us, not cultivating a culture that she had left behind. So I had to take charge somehow at my young age to be able to embrace my Mexican culture. And soccer was that. I would go, not only as a Mexican, I was already like tagged as like, oh, you're a good soccer player. So when I came to Charlotte, it was kind of a given that I had to play soccer in middle school and in high school, so I did. I started playing tennis at the same time, and I became better at tennis, but because I went to college at a community college, I didn't continue it and just kind of let it go. But the love for the sport is love for my country, and I just embrace it and continue to do that for till now, you know? So it's something that's more than a sport to me. It's a connection to my culture. So I try to share as much as I can, because I know it's very accessible to people, instead of trying to educate them on other levels. I mean, everybody knows that Mexico is a soccer country.
Yeah.
Javi, eso es, digo, voy a hablar en español porque eso es muy powerful lo que acabas de decir, porque es justamente lo que nosotros tratamos siempre de ilustrar con PBA, ¿no? Es como esa conexión con México, digo, al final lo que mucha gente tiene en común, o lo que intenta rescatar muchas veces, porque pues falta tiempo, porque a lo mejor estás intentando ganarte esa vida, porque estás haciendo cualquier cantidad de otras cosas más que cultivar esa herencia cultural, y lo único a lo que regresan siempre todos los paisanos es al fútbol. O sea, es como el punto de encuentro, y qué bonito lo dijiste, porque era así, yo tuve que hacerlo por mí mismo, o sea, mi mamá estaba ocupada, mi mamá estaba encargándose de nosotros y esto, entonces yo mismo tuve que abrirme paso para poder recuperar esa herencia, ¿no? Entonces, qué bonito y qué padre, y acabas perfectamente de ejemplificar la razón de ser de PBA.
Uh-huh.
Exacto. Sí, no, y sabes, yo conozco muchísima gente que no necesariamente se conecta o quiere o tiene el deseo de conectarse, pero yo tuve la oportunidad o tal vez no sé, la mala suerte de venir tan joven que yo no pude realmente conectarme con mi identidad en México, pues porque yo era muy niño. Entonces acá me exponen a una cultura pues media aburrida americana, que no es lo mismo, ¿me entiendes? Aparte que yo no estoy en una ciudad como Los Ángeles, que pues ahí mantienen o hasta crean nuevas tradiciones, y acá donde yo estoy pues no somos un grupo mayoritario, y aparte pues no solo son mexicanos, acá hay colombianos, venezolanos, ecuatorianos, salvadoreños, de todos lados. Entonces estoy expuesto a una cultura más latinoamericana, donde pues en algún momento si se me pega un acento, no sé, venezolano, pasa, ¿me entiendes? Y es muy, muy común, pero al final del día, yo cuando cumplí una mayoría de edad, yo empecé a viajar a México para descubrir nuevos lugares, nuevos países, nuevos estados, que no solo fueran Guadalajara. Entonces, hay una lista inmensa de estados que he conocido en los últimos años, que no sé si han visto en mi contenido. Acabo de regresar de Oaxaca porque fui al Festival de la Guelaguetza, que de hecho, y porque estamos en el tema, me tatué un quetzalcóatl y un jaguar. Obviamente, tú sabes que el quetzalcóatl ahorita representa tanto con la selección, con los uniformes. Entonces sentí que mi viaje a Oaxaca necesitaba hacerlo todavía más emblemático, porque me enamoré de esa ciudad y pues estoy enamorado de mi cultura y de mi país.
Ya. Y hablando de otro nivel de comida también en Oaxaca, es otro nivel. Me imagino que comiste muy bien.
Sí. Si tú ves, estos cachetes son de pura comida, no es la
No
cámara.
es natural. I blame it. I blame Oaxaca for this.
Sí, literal, for real.
That's awesome, Javi. Well, again, this is what PV is all about. Gee, well said. This is what our podcast is all about. Cada vez, we learn something new about our members. Things that we had no clue. We see you on blogs, we see you in person, but we just don't know until just that reaction. That was priceless when you said Guadalajara. Jeez went.
Yeah.
But so yeah, again, if you haven't noticed, I mean, if you're watching this, do definitely follow Javi. I'm a big fan of his. I love his energy. Plus it's very educational in a way that it makes you feel like it makes you want to go. Dude, we just heard him explaining Quinn City, and then Gavi's already like, I want to go. Like, sign me up. When's the next flight? So, dude, you're great at promoting and encouraging us to try new things.
Thank you. Please come. You guys can stay at my house. I live here in the city. You guys can see the skyline and everything.
Yes.
I got you.
Okay.
I put those down in writing, G, so we know where to go. And
yes. No, this is recorded. I mean, it's here for.
It's a binding contract.
Here forever. Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, cool. Well, let's talk about. So yes, you transitioned out. You embraced your culture. You took it upon yourself. I love that. You're really good at soccer and tennis and all that. When did you start falling in love with La Selección now? Like, how did that come about?
So, as a young kid in Univision, sometimes that's all the games that they would show, because during that time, I feel like there wasn't that much like Mexican Liga on Univision. So from time to time, you'd be able to catch La Selección games. When it crossed the line is when La Selección came to Charlotte in like 2013 for the first time. So that's when I was like, oh man, like I felt like I had to like make an impact on the people in Charlotte that La Selección was gonna be here. So I bought pre-sale tickets, I bought tickets for my friends, my family, and everything, and we just needed to be there to support. I think that was the first like real sign that soccer was huge, or it was going to be huge here in Charlotte, because 2 years later they came back, so then it started becoming a more common thing. And listen, Mexican people came from all different other states. They came from Atlanta, from Virginia, from Tennessee. They drove down from like even New York just to be able to catch them here. And during that time, Charlotte wasn't where it is now. So it was just an exciting time, because you could tell that the city was going to grow, but you just couldn't really see it then.
Yeah, so
if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, when I saw La
Selección grew Charlotte. So thank you, Selección, for making Charlotte a big city.
Oh yeah, listen, if it wasn't for La Selección, we probably wouldn't have gotten an MLS team like either this early or at all, just because they were filling up. They were selling out the Bank of America Stadium, which is where Charlotte FC plays now, for friendly games against Cuba. Like it wasn't like a Gold Cup or anything like that. They were just friendly games, just to kind of test the waters, whether Charlotte was going to fill those stadiums or not. And we did. It was huge parties all week.
All week. And Javi recorded them all, so we have them all on video. Yes, we can share that.
It's funny. It's funny because I do have videos of them all, but I just didn't vlog at that time because I was like embarrassed of being on camera and things like that. So hey, times have changed. So now everything I record, I document, and I put it out. But yeah, I do have like videos from back then for sure.
That's so crazy, man. Gee, I don't know if I believe that. Javi shy of being on camera? You're like a natural.
He's
right?
a natural, yeah. How could you be embarrassed of being in front of a camera?
Oh, it's taken a lot of years, a lot of practice, and a lot of self, I don't know, guidance, I guess. Because I used to hate my voice. And, I used to hate my voice because growing up, everybody would make fun of it. And because it's like very high pitched, y me decían chiqueado because I was a mama's boy. So it was always that conversation. You know how Mexicans are like bullies. They're the biggest bullies more than bullies at school.
Yeah.
So
our family are worse bullies than the families. Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. So I hated listening to my voice or recording myself, anything like that. But as I've been creating more blogs and more content and being more on camera, I've realized that people embrace my voice and they recognize me for it. So it's very particular. So all that negative energy that I got growing up, I've turned it into, well, shit, people remember you because of your voice now. So now I'm able to be myself, and hey, no judgment.
Dude, and we wouldn't want you any other way, man. We love that energy. That voice is who you are.
Thank you.
I think, G, let me know if this is how you think, but I think like everybody has we're our worst critics, especially in the beginning when you're doing something like that. When you watch yourself, you're like, oh, you hear yourself, I sound like that. But once you get past that, you embrace it. This is who I am. This is who makes me who I am. And I love it.
Sí, por supuesto. Digo, yo creo que todos pasamos por esa etapa de inseguridad, sobre todo si estamos haciendo esto, ¿no? Digo, tú desde tu trinchera con tu blog y con tus posts y esto, y nosotros me acuerdo la primera vez que me contactaron para entrevistarme para el podcast, porque así empezó todo. Primero fui un guest.
Ajá. Entonces, así empieza todo.
Así empieza todo. Spoiler alert, así empieza. Y sí, al principio fue así de, oh my God, y me acuerdo que, pero me tengo que hacer esto y me tengo que, o sea, como que todo el mundo de repente estamos un poco inseguros, pero ya que pasas esa barrera, o sea, esa energía que tú tienes, Javi, esa espontaneidad, esa chispa, yo creo que es lo que la gente busca y lo que la gente recuerda y lo que la gente, ay, no, este cuate ya posteó otra vez, vamos a ver qué está posteando, o sea, ¿no? Sí. Entonces, eso, embrace that, and that's the coolest part, yeah.
That is the coolest part. So, all right, Javi, I'm going to do an imitation of you. Here we go.
Oh, God.
What's up, gang? I'm Javi. How's it going? What's up, gang? Welcome to my QC Javi podcast. Yeah, that's right, man.
You nailed it.
Oh my gosh.
I had it.
That was super good.
My voice hurts a little bit, but I'm good. I don't know if I can talk again.
Oh, Zargento.
So, let's do this really quick. Let's do this segment that I actually I think would be cool to do. Let's go ahead and
stalk your Instagram.
All right, so let's do that. So I'm gonna pull up your Instagram and just tell us about some of the pictures that we're showing here. Cool?
Okay.
All right, so here it is. Cool. Look at that, man. Love that, the logo, all that. Okay, there's food number one. Again, tell you, he makes food delicious. Look at that.
I love it.
That's is that hot chicken?
No, it's a fish sandwich.
Oh shoot.
So we have a restaurant over here called Shomar's, and they have like a world famous fish sandwich. So I did a collaboration with them because they turned it into a spicy fish sandwich for the month of like September and October, and I went to check it out. So
cool, man.
Spicy giveaway alert.
Yeah, I did a giveaway.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, again, making food delicious. I mean, look at that. There's of course the post from the LA game. You got the got some more food there. You got showing us your shoes. That's cool.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know, but the collaboration with the shoes is that Adidas picked 6 MLS teams to get Adidas Ultra Boost Copa, and Charlotte was picked for it, and they used me as an ambassador to be able to showcase it out to people.
Awesome.
So that was super, super cool.
All right, so here's some of the Charlotte FC photos or videos. You do a lot with them. I mean, I imagine you have a lot of good friends there. You know, again, Chico's a big one.
I mean, Chico's my family, and Chico has a lot to do with my embracing of PBA and also the Mexico team. Because for the second match, when La Selección came to Charlotte, I found out about PBA. And I reached out and I was like, hey, so that's from LA, that me and Chico traveled down there for the Charlotte FC LAFC game. So me and Chico are super close. He's a great guy, and he also does a lot for the team. Hey, look at that.
Oh my God.
And there's Chico right behind you with that cool mask. Yep. Chico for Charlotte FC, his like branding is La Muerte. So they embrace him. He embraces the team.
you'll see some of my Oaxaca, since we talked about Oaxaca earlier. I mean, recently I've been traveling a lot, so I've been capturing a lot of cultural content. That's me at La Guelaguetza with the dancers. La Guelaguetza is just a huge Mexican fiesta that's just amazing. It's a 10 days of just amazing culture and dances and folklore. Amazing.
A lot of color, a lot of music. I mean, yeah, that's awesome. Did they take you on stage to dance? Did you get to dance with them at all?
No, I almost did. I was gonna do that dance, the El Diablito dance, but they didn't have an extra mask for me. So they're like, nah, next year.
Next year.
Yep. So
cool.
Now they know me though. So hopefully I get to make it next year.
That's cool, bro.
Me encanta que en todas las thumbnails de tus fotos estás con like, o sea, I love that. I love that.
That's me. The thing is, that's what I do. And through all these years of making content, you know, I'll tell you how I started. So I started making content for musicians because I'm a musician as well. And I actually went to a few award shows, and I was working with agencies promoting Latin American bands, and I'm a rock star, so I was promoting a lot of Latin rock bands. And I felt like I was always chasing the content and chasing artists. So I started to feel like a paparazzi until I was like, yo, I kind of don't like being behind the camera. I need to either tighten up and be in front of the camera and be yourself and try to make a brand off of that, or you're going to be chasing people for the rest of your life. And I made that transition, and I was like, no, like if you're going to do it, you might as well be who you are, be organic, be unique, have a purpose. And I'll tell you what my purpose is. My purpose is to showcase the Latino community to everybody here in Charlotte. Because like I said earlier, we're still a minority here. So there's still a lot of educating that needs to happen for the African Americans and for the white people that live here. So I felt like it was my duty to be able to showcase that and also give a space where the Latinos can feel identified stepping into rooms with all these corporations and all these businesses, and you know, and have somebody with energy and like some sazon, because we lack some of that here in Charlotte. And I can't add sazon if I'm just there like quiet and just not doing anything, you know. That's not who we are.
Yeah, I think that's your true representation, my friend. You know, being a loud voice, being proud, and you know, just because adding that sauce, that secret sauce, man. I love that.
Y como dicen, no, tú te fuiste de México, pero México jamás se fue de ti.
No,
no,
no. Blood. That's awesome.
It's in my arm forever and ever.
It's in your arm.
Dude, I'm still the only one that hasn't got a tattoo. G, what the heck? Oh my gosh.
Bro, it's my first tattoo, and I didn't realize. So I got this in Oaxaca, like I said, and I didn't realize it was gonna be so big until like the day after that. I was like, yo, what did I just do? My first tattoo, and it's like my whole forearm. But I love it though. I love it.
Awesome. It looks great, dude. How did you find the artist? Did you just like look around? That's because for me, that's the hardest part. You got to find someone who's gonna be legit and not butcher it, because it's there.
So for the longest time, so for all my life, I always wanted to get a sleeve of like Dragon Ball Z, because during my childhood, Dragon Ball Z was my thing. And when I came to the US, listen, when I came to the US, Dragon Ball Z was what kept me kind of like a kid, you know, because I could still watch it here, and I grew up. Listen, I would go play maquinitas, and then at 8 o'clock when Canal 9 or Canal 5 would play Dragon Ball Z, I'd run to my house and I would watch it. So when I came to the US, that's the first thing that I looked for. I was like, hey, where can I watch Dragon Ball Z? And even though it was like behind, I was able to watch it in English because I didn't know a lick of English. I was able to watch it in English, kind of start processing the language a little bit. And that was also a huge part of my childhood. So I always wanted a sleeve, right? And I've looked for an artist for years, and I just couldn't do it because it was either really expensive, or they were like in England or in like Colombia, where I was like, yo, I don't think I'm gonna go get my first tattoo somewhere there. So because I wanted to make my Oaxaca trip special, I went on Instagram and searched #Oaxaca tattoo. And I started searching and searching and searching for like a whole week until I found one that I was like, yo, this guy, Like the
Legit.
colors and everything, because I knew I wanted something in color. I was like, this guy looks like he's the right one. I'm a week before I'm like, I have a week to plan it. Let me message him. He replies to my message. He has availability on the times that I'm going to be there. And I get there. He's like, yo, just make sure you send me a deposit. And I didn't send him a deposit because I was like, I don't know. This is kind of shady. I'll wait until I'm there to make sure I'm there first. I make it to Oaxaca. I go to the studio, which was a block away from my Airbnb where I was staying. So even that on its own was a little crazy. I go send my deposit, and he's like, yo, so are you able to come in on Thursday? And I was like, yeah, that's what you told me. He's like, well, I have availability tomorrow. You want to come tomorrow? And I was like, well, yeah, I don't have anything planned. I got the time. So I go in the next day. He takes an hour to design what he's going to draw. And then he took 5 hours tattooing me nonstop. The whole time I was just there with my arm like this. And he was like, and yeah,
wow.
That was my first tattoo experience. And
you got a big one. Yeah. You know, some people get a little one to taste it out. You just went, let's go for it. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, something about making that trip happen that I just felt the courage to say, nah, just go big, because you'll remember your trip for the rest of your life. And what a better resemblance than to do it something like this.
What's the name of your artist? Give him a shout out.
I don't even remember, bro, because after that, like, I haven't talked to him after that. So it's weird. It's Deno. It's called Deno Tattoo. Deno Tattoo. I just remember.
I was gonna say, like, no idea. It was a stranger. I just honestly that was all made up.
You just praised him, and what's his name? I don't remember.
Well, you know what's funny? I told you I found him on Instagram. I went to drop my deposit. He tattooed me, and then like that was it. Like there wasn't a conversation. I didn't get to know him or anything else except for, hey, you tattooed me, and
thanks.
And we're good. I have to come back to my country, to the US.
That's awesome. And I love stories like that, dude. Again, those are all adventures, you know. All right.
See, you gotta get a tattoo.
I know. I don't know when. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just Instagram or someone on Instagram and figure it out.
Great source. Great source.
Great source. Social media is king. All right. Let's go into our next phase here, and that is
Post of the week.
So I reached out to Javi and I said, Javi, give me your post of the week. I reached out to Gene, give me your post of the week. And of course, I selected my post of the week. So let's go with Javi first, as he's our guest. By the way, I'm not going to lie, Gene, this is probably my favorite post ever at all times. All right, Javi, I'm going to show you the post and tell us why you selected this post and how it came about. So here we go. I told you, I love it.
Of course.
All right, Javi, tell us about this post. Why was this your post of the week?
So look, being at the game at the Rose Bowl and just seeing you in person after following you for so long, I knew I had to get a shot of you playing that drum, because I felt the passion and I felt that you embraced everybody that was around you. And I was like, yo, I gotta get him a photo of himself, because you're always behind the camera, but I don't know if you ever get the attention you deserve for the work you do. So I was like, yo, let me take a photo of him and then I'll send it, because this friendship is real. From this point forward, like we're just friends. So I also picked that as my post of the week, just because I think it's a great photo. Yeah, you know, man. You're there with the drumsticks. Like I said, I'm a musician, I'm a drummer. So big ups for that.
Thanks, man. No doubt, dude. Thank you. I didn't expect that. I appreciate that. You know, definitely huge shout out. Thank you. Try not to cry here.
Yeah, no crying.
But no,
we've never cried on the podcast. We've never cried. Today can be the first.
Give me the first, so stop it. I'm like right in the cusp of about the.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? Same to you, Javi. I mean, definitely been seeing you post. Like I said, dude, everything you do, you know, I love what you do, and seeing you in person has been awesome. And you know, when you took that photo, I just said, hey, what's up? I didn't even pose. I was all serious. I didn't do the Javi smile.
No. You know? Well, the thing is, we already had a photo like that, right? You took a selfie, at the tailgate, and I was like, oh no, we can't do a selfie. Let me get him in action.
Yeah, and you did. You got me right there. And it's funny. I saw that because some of the guy that was one of the members that was drumming, he was just getting tired. He was like, I'm wasted. Like he was off. He's like, here, you take it. And I'm like, all right, put me in, coach. And I just took it on, man, because we had to keep that energy flowing, man. It was a tough game, right? Not till the last freaking 10 minutes or so we finally scored. It was and the goal we finally deserved. We haven't scored in so long, so thank you.
Straight up, yes.
All right, G, you're up. Let's get your post. Let's get a little more serious. It's just something a little more, really, professional. All right, G. Oh, that's not it. All right.
That's mine. So, right. Charlene Corral, as you know, got called up again to la Selección Femenil. Finally. It took...
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It took the previous coach to be fired and get a new one to get her noticed again. So that I'm very happy. I'm very excited. I've been requesting this. I mean, who am I? But I've been requesting this like forever. Like, where is Charlene Corral? She needs to be there. And I'm sure if she would have been there, it would be a completely different story for the women's Mexican national team, for sure. For sure. So
the ultimate goal scorer, right? I mean, she's a machine. She's very consistent.
Yeah, her and Licha. That's kind of bittersweet for me, because she being called right now means Licha is not. But I'm willing to let it go because I love Charlene, because she's great. She's amazing. She deserves it. Period.
Yeah. Well, again, she was a guest of ours in the show.
Yeah.
Loved her to death. She was just amazing.
Yeah. I'm a huge Charlene fan.
Next time we need to get her on and have you co-host it with me. That was she did amazing. She's so humble, easygoing, just super amazing person overall, right?
And she's like the OG. Like she is like, think about women in Mexican soccer, and it's her. For me,
she's like the one that started it all, right? Like the main, like one of the big
one of the big names,
big names, that's awesome. I'm happy for her. Yeah, it's been a while. Right. And to your point, I think what's been going on with the Selección, right? Like, hey, they're scoring goals. They're historic. They're iconic. It's like Chicharito, right? Like, what the heck? Stop it. Let's go. Get them in. We need freaking goal scorers. And I'm surprised they didn't bring Licha. Why didn't they get her? Why can't they bring goal?
She is injured. She's injured at the moment, and she's not even playing with Chivas right now. So she has to be like protected.
So let's hope when she's healthy again that they both get called up, and that'll be cool.
That would be amazing. Yes.
That'd be awesome. All right. Well, here is my post, and the reason why I'm wearing this jersey today. Well, I always wear it every day. I go to bed with it in my pajamas. But there's a new jersey for Las Chivas, and once again, another iconic green jersey.
My
I have the other green jersey. I love it. It's one of my favorite. It's my favorite Chivas jersey. This might be my second favorite, or maybe my first. I got to look at it in person. But the other one's iconic too. New jersey came out. I love it. Love that it's green. And no offense to Puma. Puma has not done justice to the World Cup jerseys they made for other countries. They're pretty bad. I mean, true, they're not that great, but this one and what they do for Chivas is always great. I think they somehow, when it comes to the Chivas jersey, they really put a good effort, and it's something I'm proud of. So there you go.
And they're going to wear this on Saturday on the game with Cruz Azul.
Right on.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I was super excited when I saw it too. It's beautiful. I want it.
Beautiful. And if anybody out there is a Chivas fan, is going to the World Cup, you should get that green jersey as well.
And wear it out.
Yeah.
For sure.
And take a picture and send it to us, please.
Yes, please.
All right, so here's our chat. We've been doing the post of the week now for how many episodes? 5 episodes now. My challenge to everybody that's watching: start sharing, start sending us what you think the post of the week should be. Send it to G, send it to myself. Hey, send it to Javi too. Come on, he's part of this now. So I want you to send it to us so we can promote it and say, hey, actually, this post of the week came from, Tony Two Shorts at Instagram. Johnny Bag of Donuts from Chicago. Thank you, Johnny Bag of Donuts. Right, like whatever. Just send it to us. Say, hey, I want this to be the post of the week. Tag us on the social media sites, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, whatever you're using. and we would be happy to highlight and select your post of the week. All right, Javi, we're going to go into our next round, and this is what we call
Rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
This is a whole production, Javi.
Yeah. I
Like,
wasn't expecting all this.
top notch.
I just like his reaction. He's like, what the heck's going on right now? he got changed up. So, all right, Javi. So G and I are going to just throw out random questions your way. Don't overthink it. Just give us the first thing that comes to your mind. And we're going to go back and forth until one of us, either G or myself, can no longer think of anything else. Like we freeze or we stop, and that is it. So we're giving each other a challenge.
Oh,
Are you ready, G?
So what if I freeze?
Yeah, fail. No, you can't. You can't. There's
can't.
No, you can't. Just throw it out. Whatever. I don't care.
Got it.
Say
Got it. I'm gonna do my
All right.
best. Here, let me.
All right, you ready, G?
Yes.
Ladies first.
Okay, ready, Javi?
Yes.
Favorite Mexican dish?
Enchiladas. Enchiladas.
He's already. All right. What was your first job?
I was a cart boy at a golf course. So I would drive carts to the people that would drive into the golf course, and I would load their golf clubs, and they would give me tips. I was in middle school, high school, and that was my first job.
Favorite color?
Blue,
Makes
especially
sense.
this one.
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense.
All right. Speaking of that, what's your favorite word? What's a word that you love?
Dang. Dang.
You see, that's perfect.
Okay, rapid fire. Go.
What's your lucky number?
31.
What's your favorite? I know you're a foodie. What's your favorite dessert?
Ice cream sundae. Like ice cream with brownies.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. What's your favorite emoji to use?
The one with the teeth that's like this.
That's how he smiles. All right. What is your favorite store to shop at? Physical store.
Physical store. Man, I feel like I don't even shop at stores anymore. I don't know. I actually don't think I have a store. Dang, I don't know.
We
Next
got
question.
him. All right,
Yeah.
we'll give you a few more questions to redeem yourself. I mean, at least say Target. That's G's favorite. Come on, Target.
Target, come on, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a yes or no. Just yes or no. Is Mexico going to el quinto partido?
Yes.
Look at that. And very decisive.
Yes.
All right, here's one. It's gonna be controversial. I like controversial questions.
Ooh.
Who's your best friend of all? Who's your very best friend?
Currently my girlfriend.
Aw, good
answer.
answer. Good answer.
She's watching this. How dare you pick,
She
Chona?
is. She's over here on the side. She's working on the computer.
Good answer. Hi.
Yeah, hello. He's a keeper. He's a keeper. All right, last two questions. You go, take it away.
Okay, who do we hate the most? America or Atlas?
Oh, America.
Okay.
Facts.
All right. We all
Oh.
have addictions. We all have a vice, something that we just can't help. What are you what are you addicted to that you can't help it? That it's like you collect and then you indulge in.
T-shirts. So one thing that my girlfriend has kind of pointed out to me is that I love collecting T-shirts. And the thing is, I found a value in, remember I mentioned I'm a musician and I used to follow a lot of artists. I love going to concerts. So every concert that I go to, I buy a T-shirt, but not to wear it, but to save it. So I have stacks of T-shirts from concerts or festivals and things that I've gone to that I haven't worn once. And she's like, why don't you just wear it? And I'm like, no, it's part of my collection.
No.
So that when I get older, I can go back and kind of like look at it, you know?
I love
because
that.
I feel like that's one way to bring back the memories of me being there. So T-shirts, I guess, have become like my addiction.
Nice. I like that. That should be a song. T-shirts my addiction.
Yeah.
So I know we're done with the questions, but I have to know, like, which was your prize, the T-shirt that you're just like your prized possession, like your one that you're just like, I wouldn't get, like, if it was a burning fire and I can only save one T-shirt, what T-shirt would that be?
I have a few that were like emblematic to me. So it's funny because I have an Alejandro Fernandez T-shirt from like a Guadalajara, like what's that thing? Plaza de
Palenque.
Toros.
Palenque.
A Plaza de Toros from like 1999 that I haven't worn or anything like that, and because he's from Guadalajara and my mom loved Alejandro Fernandez and all that, you know, it's just so emblematic, especially now that I've gotten older. And my mom, I remember my mom took us to El Rancho de los Tres Potrillos one time, and again, to me is just significant of my roots in Guadalajara. So that goes even deeper than the Mexico roots, you know, that's like right there. I also have, because I used to go to a lot of like raves and stuff like that. I have like a super old school Steve Aoki shirt that he signed before he like even blew up.
Wow.
That one's also like a very, very special to me. So now when I see him playing these massive stages and I'm like, yo, like
I knew him.
I shook his hand, we hugged and everything. It's epic.
He threw cake in my face. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome, Javi. Wow, this is good. Again, I love these rapid fire questions. Good job. You passed the test, even though
Thank
you
you.
froze on one. It's okay.
Yeah, the story. And that's the silliest one to
online.
freeze up on. I could have just said anything.
Yeah, just say anything, dude. Even if you said, I don't know, Old Navy. Who would have cared? All right. So I know we have a few, that last section here. You know, G brought up the World Cup and you said Quito Partido. What are your, I mean, you called that out. Did you really mean that? Do you feel that this Mexico team currently has what it takes to make an impact? Because I know me and G been talking about this. We're very skeptical. Every single time people are trying to convince us. What are your thoughts?
It's a debate, right? Because we see the performance from these players in these last recent, and we can blame Tata all we want, but the people that are on the field are the ones that have to have that courage, that want to win. And I truly believe that once they're on the stage, they'll come out because they'll want to perform. Obviously, Tata has his job on the line, which also is a huge motivator, I would hope. But other than that, you know, I feel like the Mexico team needs to break the curse and needs to make it to that fifth like game and be able to just change history. It's just unfortunate that we're just so skeptical about everything happening. But you know, I feel like the other teams are also not up to their highest level. Times have just changed because our standards have always been like the Brazils and the Spains and the Portugals from previous years. But maybe now we're up to the standard of these World Cup teams, and I'm sure with some will and some pride, they'll go out there and they'll perform.
Again, another one, G. It's like more and more. So it's like we got to stop being so Debbie Downers about this. So
Yeah, but it's hard. I mean, the game with Colombia. I mean, the first half was like, yes, we're
I was
winning.
like, that's the Mexico I know.
That's the Mexico I
Yeah.
know, and they're winning, and that's amazing. And then, like, that's what it
Epic,
gets me like so frustrated because they cannot like keep up. And I mean, you see what Argentina is doing right now? Like, they're unstoppable, and it's not even the World Cup yet. So it's like, okay, we're
And they're
going
playing-
against
they're playing
Argentina.
against CONCACAF teams, right? Teams that we play all
Yeah.
the time, and they're destroying them. What we should be destroying, like beating them 3-0.
Yeah, but
We're not. When we
history,
play them, it's 1-1, or it's like, you know, it's a battle. You know,
but
It's-
history has told us that when it's the World Cup, Mexico like somehow gets this like burst of energy and pride, and so let's just wait and see. But now, and after these two games, I mean, the first one, Pasadena, was like okay, and the last minute it was like okay, we made it. We made
It was nice. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It even though it's gross, it finally felt nice to get showered with beer for a while. It's been a while.
It was. Are you sure it was beer?
I hope so. I mean, I tasted it and it tasted delicious. But yeah, so thank you, Javi, for your perspective. Again, I just hope that that's the case. We know, like you said, let them rise to the occasion. Let them bring all of that energy, that pride, that whatever it is that they need to channel to just perform and give us another, epic World Cup like last time. Even though we didn't go to the Quito Partido, we still got to see an amazing performance from just another amazing Chucky. Before then, was Ochoa when he would make these unstoppable plays. I mean,
Alexis Vega.
He could be. He's been playing amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and before we move on, I feel like the embarrassment from the Colombia game should make them feel motivated, because really to be able to lose to 3 goals within 10, 12 minutes in the second half, there's just no way that they can feel good about that performance,
Oh, I mean,
going into the locker room and having that conversation had to just be so painful. It was painful for me being in the stands watching it.
Yeah,
I can just imagine how it was in the locker room.
Yeah, how
emoji.
Yeah, that emoji. how was the stance? I mean, did you sense the fans turning quickly? Like at first it was probably like we're like in cloud 9, 2-0. Oh yeah, whoa, we're kicking, and then did you see the change quickly?
Super, super fast. I mean, there were times where the frustration made fans kind of turn into themselves and stopped paying attention into the game. So not to get into too much detail because it happens always, but there were a few brawls that happened in the stands between fans that were unnecessary, but that was just the frustration coming out in whichever way people could find, because it was just so disappointing to see goal after goal after goal, And I'm going to say this, the Colombian fans are not the most quiet fans when they come back like that. So they were just rubbing it on our faces, and it just wasn't a good experience.
I got it on Twitter. Like this Colombian guy was like, ha ha ha, I was laughing now. And I'm like, dude, calm
people
down.
That never messaged me
saw
my post and they're like, yo, you went there to see your team lose? And I'm like, you don't even talk to me. Like, why are you sending this to me?
Yeah. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they all come out, right? Like, yeah, seriously.
Yep. But during the first half, they were just silent.
They were silent.
Yeah, but again, hopefully the team isn't proud of that performance. They understand that they gotta level up at the World Cup, man.
And you know what? I was thinking about the fact that this was probably the last game they were going to play in America. Like the next few friendlies that are left are in Spain, I think. So they're not going to be like a lot of Mexican fans anymore. So in a way, they feel at home in the U.S. because it's packed with the Mexican fans, and it was like their last chance, so to speak. Like I'm going to be like super cheesy right now, but it was their last chance to be like super like getting the energy of the fans, and the second half was horrific. Like I was like, what is happening?
Well, they were saying that in the broadcast, right? Where this is like the first time that Mexico has ever lost a despedida, right? Every despedida that they've had, they've won, or they
been to a lot.
They tied one, but they won all of them.
And I've been to a couple, and I must say I'm a little disappointed. Just don't hate me. I'm a little disappointed because the away games, like despedida games, are always in El Azteca. And I've been to a couple of those, and now it wasn't in El Azteca. So fans were like, yeah, well, I mean, you decided to go and say goodbye over there. So there you have it.
Yeah, that is true. I saw a lot of disappointment on Twitter about that.
Yeah. So, all right, Javi,
but I'm glad I was there, though. I still had fun.
What?
It was my chance. It was my chance to be there.
Me and Jill, like, yeah, and he goes, I had fun, yeah.
But I was there, yo.
You know what? I was there, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Javi? Love your energy, man. Don't ever change, dude. Always be who you are. Let's do final closing remarks. Um, Javi, any shout outs, any final closing remarks for our fans as we wrap up this episode?
Yeah, man. So I just want to give a huge shout out to the PVA family, just because I traveled from Charlotte to LA to Santa Clara by myself, without a place to stay or anything. I'm the biggest procrastinator that you'll find, and that's probably why I'm now on the podcast after so many months. And they made me feel welcome. They supported me. They helped me out finding a place to stay, being able to travel to Santa Clara, or well, San Francisco, finding a place to stay there. So everybody from PVA Los Angeles, from PVA Seattle, the guy from Carlos from PVA San Francisco, he was driving us around once we were there. Yeah. Because the distance from San Francisco to Santa Clara is not the closest, and Ubers were super freaking expensive. And he wasn't even going to come to the game. He decided to take us. He stayed with us, and he was just a super good host. So everybody from PVA over there definitely treated me right. So I really appreciate what they did. I got to give a huge shout out to Chico and for the work that he does here in Salisbury and in Charlotte. Whenever La Selección comes, he makes sure that he treats everybody as welcoming as he can. He doesn't even live close to Charlotte. He lives like 45 minutes away. And yet he is the first one here. He'll bring his kids with him. And he does what he has to do, no matter like any objections or anything. So I really appreciate Chico. He's a really good friend of mine. And I look up to everything that he does. So those are my direct connections. So definitely want to shout them out.
Nice, man. Thank you, Javi. Appreciate that. G, final closing remarks.
Javi, pues yo ya te había visto y te había stalkeado tantito en Instagram previo a este episodio, y soy tu fan declarada. Qué gusto haberte conocido y haber escuchado esa emoción y esa pasión y ese empuje que tienes, el que seas muy espontáneo y que seas muy approachable. O sea, eso es padrísimo, y eso me encanta, sobre todo si te gusta promover la cuestión de la cultura mexicana y de la herencia, que al final de cuentas eso somos, we are loud, we are happy people, like somos muy apapachadores, y tú, yo creo que encapsulas todo eso muy padre. Qué gusto haberte conocido. Ojalá pueda conocerte algún día en alguno de los partidos y nos podamos tomar muchas fotos juntos y podamos hacer más cosas juntos. Muchísimas gracias por haber aceptado la invitación y nos vemos muy pronto.
Gracias, claro que sí.
Right on. Thank you, G. I can already picture that photo between the two of you. G's going to be doing this, and I will be like... Yeah, so I already know the photo. I already know it. But Javi, de nuevo, muchas gracias. Thank you again. It's also a pleasure to finally meet you in person. It's nice to finally have you on. This not be the last time we cross paths, we interact, we collaborate, dude. You are an amazing content creator. You are. You have a purpose. We can see it in your work, and that is what's missing out there. A lot of people are just doing it, for the fame, for that, which again, it doesn't hurt to get the perks, but you do it because you truly have a mission, you truly have a purpose, and that reflects in what you do. So dude, keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm super excited, and definitely, your biggest fan, like G as well. Also, if you were here, anybody who's listening to this, especially like the younger generation, right? Also to teach you, also to remind you, hey, there's going to be things about us that we don't like. I mean, that's just part of being human. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. But taking that energy and turning it into something positive and saying, hey, this is who I am, and I'm going to embrace it. And you know what? If you're going to love me for it, because I'm going to just give you all of me, and that is me. And that's what you've been doing, Javi, and all of us, right? So thank you for that story. And to La Selección, going into the final few preparatory matches, we are going to go ahead and think positive thoughts, like all of our guests, G. We have to believe. And yeah, exactly, like just channel that energy. Yeah, there you go, G. Keep doing it harder. So thank you again, all the way from North Carolina to Campeche, Mexico, and here in Phoenix, Arizona. Es Zargento. Hasta la próxima, amigos. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don Vicente, un chingón para cantar. Jimmy humilde, que historia para contar. Y hay un chingo de estrellas difícil para terminar. Y la banda norteño, nos enfiestamos. Son las 3 de la mañana y no paramos. La cerveza en la hielera las enfriamos. Y aunque lleguen los azules, nosotros...
Do you have access to a jersey really quick? Let's do that again and then go. And then you guys get your jerseys on. And I can edit that.
Oh yeah, and we can like boop.
Yeah. We'll get it right now. And
Me
then we'll
too.
do that.
Me
We'll do
too.
that.
All
Go.
right.
Go. All right.
Wait, go. That thing that of SpongeBob that says 2 years later. You know?
Few moments
I don't
later.
have it.
No!
A few moments later.
I tried and I tried.